Welcome to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Hello and welcome to the final week of the Fall Club Championships. Tonight we will crown our Fall Champion for the Valorant Rumbles. We will start with Game 2 of our semifinals between the Landslides and Wildcat Esports. With Wildcat Esports up 1-0 in the best of 3 series. The winner will face the Drought in our best of 3 grand finals. I am your host, Brandon Red Hots Koziancic, and joining me to call the action today is Jacob Gem Mountain Palmer. And Gem Mountain, I want to ask you, this is a patch before 4.0, and so we're not going to see Neon yet or the box changes. What are your thoughts on going into this with the, basically before the patch?
Well, we have to mainly remember, specifically if these certain stages comes up, we're going to have to remember the changes that are on Bind and Breeze specifically. We're going to also have to remember that all those gun nerfs that Riot put out are not going to be in place. The Spectre is still in at least the build that was played on these matches that we're going to see tonight. The Spectre is still your main choice for a half buy, so we're not going to really see the Bulldog or the Ares rise to prominence, and that actually does mean a few more credits. That 50 credit difference is actually going to come into play during. So it might not seem like much, but every little bit can help in your econ. So that's kind of the main thing, the 3 main points we have to remember. We're not going to see Neon tonight, unfortunately. We are going to have to remember we're looking at the old builds of Breeze and Bind, and we have to remember that Spectre in this build is probably going to be the main thing that we see in half buys.
Yeah, I agree. I think 50 credits can be huge because sometimes that's the difference between getting full utility or not. Ever since they kind of made a lot of those utility changes with the 50 credit difference, I mean, sometimes it can mean all the difference. So I agree with that. So far in the fall season is we've had a lot of pretty interesting teams, join this fall. We've had a lot of different winners, I'd say. Almost every week there's been a new champion and stuff like that. And then even now the Wildcats are a new team this week, and honestly they've been kind of stomping this week. So what are your thoughts on the Wildcats so far?
I mean, they've done a very good job. That's kind of been a highlight of the Valorant side of Esports Tower. It's kind of nice and refreshing because for so long in the past semester when it came to Valorant and Esports Tower, the Landslides were the team that every round they were in, they lived up to their names. There was just the Landslides. But we've had some roster changes in that certain team. It's allowed some other teams to rise to prominence. So it really seems like this is a great opportunity for all these new, this new talent in the Esports Tower Valorant to really make a statement and who we should look forward to in the upcoming spring 2022 semester.
Speaking of that, we've got to have teams with Doc's Keys to the Game are presented by Esports Tower. In Valorant, you're going to focus your angles, watch the flank, know your win condition, got to count the cards and abilities of enemy teams, and then obviously, of course, click heads. Esports Tower is presented by, Doc's Keys of the Game is presented by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So for the first game, actually it's the second game, it's a 1-0 inside of the Wildcats. We're going to go to the map Haven. What do you think about Haven? What do you like? What's your key points for Haven, you think, as a map?
Well, along with Bind specifically, Haven is one of the more twisty, enclosed maps. It's not like Breeze or Point B on Icebox, so it's not really a guarantee that we're going to see Viper as the main controller. There are kind of more options that you can play for on this particular stage. And each of the main points, having 3 main points, you have the very enclosed B point, but then you also have the chance for more longer range heroes to really shine on C because you've got that long hallway that leads up to C if the team decides to go through that one instead of going through Garage like we see here. So Haven really unique in just that it's so many options. When you first start playing Valorant, you're a little bit overwhelmed by having to deal with all the different routes that Haven does. So really going to be interesting to see what the teams decide to do and their strategy.
Yep, and the first game was actually an Icebox, and the team who wins this will be going on the grand finals against the Drought.
Well, let's take a look right now and see what the loadouts are going to be. Of course, we see Prestige. It's just going to be instant locking in the Jet there. It's kind of been such the main the main duelist, if you will, that's just kind of an instant lock. Unfortunately, Neon isn't going to be able to give her a run for her money, so we're probably going to see both teams use Jet. And the main thing that's great about Jet is just the verticality she adds in such an instant way. You know, you just press the button, you have updraft, and immediately you're in the air. It doesn't require as much setup as, say, Raze's Satchel. So just so many great opportunities, and those knives still a force to look out for, even though after that Riot nerf.
Yeah, I will say updrafts in the Esports Tower have been kind of an interesting topic. Sometimes we see some updrafts where you're like, what was that? And then sometimes, you know, you see it and it's like almost like a flash. Like, you know, sometimes the Jet with nothing goes up and the team kind of freaks out and looks up, but you still have the down, you know, so it's kind of adds that verticality like you're saying. Seems like both teams are kind of going similar, but with the little differences. I think the main differences we're going to see is the Omen versus Astra kind of for the controllers. I think Astra is a really oppressive agent when it comes to kind of taking over map control because she just has so much range and distance, you know, obviously with her smokes and like her sucking, it's really hard to deal with, whereas Omen kind of has more so that, you know, this two smokes, has a lot of one-ways you can go with, but his blind is obviously a huge factor. I'm glad we still get to see the wide Killjoy title, as everyone says, the wide joy. Everyone loves that one.
Well, the interesting thing about Astra is she really is that pick that really shines more in the competitive scene, because to fully utilize Astra, you have to have that communication with all your teammates to be able to place smokes instantly on the other side of the team. That's not something that you're going to be able to do really effectively with Astra if you're in solo queues. So really kind of one of those heroes, almost the inverse that we see with Reyna, Cruz picking Reyna, whereas Reyna's kind of more of that pick that's really great in solo queue if you have the skills to back her up, but we don't see so much in competitive. So really kind of spanning the full range of possible picks these two teams have.
Yeah, I will say the one thing we've kind of always seen pro playing a lot too is either you're on the two duelists or you're on the one duelist in kind of a Sky, which we'll see right here, right away. Dan does get the first pick.
Yeah, that blind just really setting Sky far, just so far and above. It's not just because you were able to aim it so well, but the audio cue of her saying blinded gives her so much more information than any sort of other flash that you get. You know, you don't get that with Phoenix's curveball at all.
Yep.
So really, you're able to get so much more information on where the other team is. And a flawless for the Wildcats. You said they were a force, and they're living up to that.
I say, Dan kind of just went out with that flash and ended up getting two, and next thing you know, you blinked and all the rest were gone. So I guess it's a great start from Wildcats. A little bit of information: the Wildcats, they're invited into the club championship, and this is their first Rumble with the Esports Tower program. We haven't seen, I guess, too much of the roster and other things, but as we can see, they've played very aggressive starting from right off the first round, and it seems they have a lot of experience on this kind of competitive side of things.
Well, we'll see how they do. We see Karma setting up here. One interesting thing is that the Ares was brought out by Wildcats. Remember, this is before 4.0, so you have to deal with that wind-up that the Ares has, the lower fire rate. But I still liked it before it was buffed, and it has really come into its own. But we have to deal with the meta before 4.0. Right now, Prestige looks like they're going to start trying to push through Garage here.
Yeah, and it's kind of, on these save rounds, just try to get, as much as you can, right? Just getting one or two can kind of really help their eco, but it seems that Shock Dart hits directly in Prestige.
Now it looks like they might change their mind here. They do have that tripwire that's set up right in between B. It looks like the landslides are already down to half health. That Sova is going to need to recover.
I say, if they can just get a plant down, it's going to be a pretty big, I guess, eco boost for them.
Yeah, that's all really that they're going to have. Kind of the solace that they have for that is just the little bit of eco boost that they get from planting the spike. But now we get to the crucial point now. You don't want to let the Wildcats get away with 3 in a row here.
I would say, yeah, it's, the third round's usually the most important round, kind of in the first beginning of momentum-wise, because, you basically have the one advantage if the other team is kind of just bonusing.
Wow.
Wow.
And NCO is just here to play right now. We're going to take a quick look, though, at this replay. You can see his great wallbang there with the Ares. That's still, you got to remember, the Ares still has that high bullet penetration like the Odin, so you're just as capable of wallbanging with it as you are the Odin. But speaking of big, expensive guns, I see NZO's not fooling around, bringing out the AWP.
And it looks like he's C-Long. Okay, they at least know it's an AWP. Are they going to push it now? Or are they going to kind of just, reconsider where they're going?
I mean, there are two main ways that you can hold the op down. You can hold it in C long. There are also just that great sight line for B. You could also technically hold it with A, but it looks like they are rethinking their strategy here. Going to be pushing through A here. Not going to go through sewers here.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, oh, looks like they're just split now. Hopefully they can kind of go in sync. They do have a numbers advantage at the time.
Here goes the lead. Is just going to try to find the right way to put out that blinding there. Doesn't look like they're going to get anybody there, but they do not want Heaven there to be any sort of in play while they plant that spike. So that's going to be enough for them. They actually toss out a shock dart into it too, but they're going to get found out by that recon dart as well, giving Wildcats the information they need. They've already picked up one. There goes Karma with the second, Dan with the third. And again, the only thing that we had last time that they'll have for Solace is that little bit of eco boost from planting the spike, but that is not the situation the Landslides wanted. They're going to be looking at 3 in a row loss.
Yeah, I will say Enzo was playing quite aggressive with that op. Just goes straight out of CT and just peeks it. Like he had no like, you know, no remorse about peeking that angle. And it seems like Wildcats just kind of get the bonus, and that's going to be pretty hard for Landslides, you know, eco right there.
We'll see what they decide to do here. It looks like they are. Looks like they're probably going to go for a save round here. At most, getting a Sheriff or a Ghost here. See Fancy placing down a few tripwires, and that is one thing you got to watch out for on Haven. They're placing some of these tripwires down on these flank routes. Really can help you, and it's not necessarily something that the other team always expects if you're a good Cypher and can place your tripwires in sneaky locations.
Yeah, so it seems that the Landslides have been scrimming a lot lately, kind of figuring out what strats and stuff they want to run, but it seems like the team communication has been the number one, and ooh, just a great shot there from the list.
And against the Jet, too. You know, against the op character, basically. Omen's just going to say, anything you can do, I can do better.
I will say, martial headshots in this game against people who have, like, full-on guns or even an op is probably the most satisfying thing to do in Valorant.
And it is a real sleeper pick, too, because it's so cheap. And if you're basically someone who already gets headshots with the op consistently, and a nice headshot like that with the Sheriff, too, can really make a lot of mileage out of it. Unfortunately, they're going to get headshotted as well, bringing it to 3v3.
Yeah, crosshair placement was there, just kind of didn't have the reaction time as it did. Seems like it, I memean, honestly, right now it's 3v3. This is as close as it's kind of been so far for these rounds. Surge does get delete in the mid, though.
Spike down mid.
Fortunately, Spike is going to be dropped mid. It is all up to the Cypher here. He's going to have to be dealing with being pinched in. Oh. Yeah, and that's going up against a Vandal with a Ghost. It's a tall task. So the good thing, though, is that on a save round, that isn't too bad. They were able to get 2 picks and take a little bit of eco away from the Wildcats. So in terms of a save round short of winning, that's kind of what you want to have.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, that was one of their best rounds yet, so hopefully they can kind of get confidence of, hey, you know what, let's reset here, and let's get something going. It seems like I kind of want to see Landslides have more of a like thought-out attack, I'd say. I think sometimes utility and stuff, they're kind of guessing where they're at and seeing what's happening. I think, you know, you kind of force something or set something up through that could help them through the rounds.
We see Prestige. He's going to be contemplating Garage, but has to deal. That smoke being thrown out is actually going to tell them where that op is being thrown from, so they can kind of strategize around that. And a nice start to Prestige. Going to be instantly equalized by Karma, though.
Yeah, so the one thing that kind of sucks there is Prestige was the only one in Garage. Everyone else was kind of just sitting there waiting mid.
Well, there goes the Seekers, going to give Wildcats a lot of information. Basically 3 Seekers, 1 for each member, so they should know where all the members of the Landslides are now. There's one of them picked off. Landslides still have a chance here. Unfortunate there. And I actually do like that from the Wildcats, knowing when to use that Cypher ult. It's one of the tougher ults to use because you got to find a place to use it that isn't instantly going to be dangerous for you to get picked off.
Yeah, I will say, I think in the Esports Tower, at least, it's been kind of a struggle-ish to see people use that Cypher ult, right? Sometimes people kind of wait on that and they want that perfect spot, but I think that was a fantastic use of that, you know, that Cypher ult to get it going.
Well, the lead is going to go back to the Marshall that he was able to get an early pick on. Everyone else going for the standard Spectre.
Another save round from the Landslides. It's going to be kind of hard to get something going so far. That Astra and Cypher on that C side is really hard to kind of get through.
That op is way off in the distance now, so Oh, unfortunately, those shock darts have been getting a lot of mileage against the landslides, and instantly a headshot. 2 for the Wildcats, going to put the landslides back down to a disadvantage.
We could see Karma pushing out through C long and looking through CT and getting a pick off.
I mean, I mean, hey, you know, Cypher normally is kind of more of that defensive choice if you want to try to, you know, put some tripwires down to catch out flankers, but I suppose you could be the flanker if you wanted to.
I will say, Wildcats are playing in, like, I guess more like a calculated aggression. They kind of know they're on a save round. They know that they're kind of just, you know, they don't know where to go, it seems like. Landslides kind of go somewhere, instantly get picked off, and they kind of sit in CT. So Wildcats coming from every direction just kind of makes it really hard to really do anything when, you know, when they're trying to think of a plan.
Well, oh my goodness, Thunder's Fury right off of the gate is going to pick up Fangsy, as well as an op pick, going to put the landslides in a world of hurt right away. Looks like they're going to try to go through C long, try to pick up the pieces.
Nice shot. They need something to get going. Yep. Wow.
I mean, at this point, do you just rip your own Hunter's ult and just as a matter of pride try to equal the performance of the other Sova?
I can do that. So we do have 3 ults on the side of Landslide. They can Omen TP for rotate. They have the Empress to kind of get something going, but it seems like they are going to hold on to these ults for the meantime.
And that Astra smoke down there is going to make their job a lot harder.
So this Astra is making it really hard for Landslides to really go anywhere for these choke points. It seems like they might.
One thing that they don't realize, though, is Cruz is very low on health, so maybe a key wallbang there could take away some crucial healing for the Wildcats. Zio still holding down sidelines with that op through B.
30 seconds
So
left.
this kind of a tough position for them. If they rotate around, they're going to get met with the op.
Kind of like Cruz's gun buddy. It was Hourglass, so, you know, it's kind of showing that their time's ticking for this round here. It seems like they're going to have to force this kind of C long.
Ooh, unfortunately. Oh, they're going to have to deal. They pick up 2. Whoa, look at that there. They might actually have a chance. They're able to pick up Delete. They actually turned it around.
Wow, that's a fantastic job by Landslides. I mean, they kind of had one scenario where that was the only way they could have won the round, and they pulled it off. I think it was a 3v4 there. Yeah, 3v4, and they did a great job.
And that's a scary thing, too, pushing past all of that CC. They see the Reyna Orb go out there. Actually did help them buy some time to be able to find out where the Wildcats were, lock down the site, and great job there for both of those players. It's going to put back some momentum for the Landslides, and more importantly, at least take the op away from NZO and force them to spend their credits for another.
Do the flash and long. Unfortunately, can't get Dan and long.
Okay, now we have both Jets with the op, so now this is the true duel territory here.
I'd say Prestige has got to, you know, kind of step up with this op and show, you know, NZO they can do it too.
Oh, here we go. We're going to see if they can match the Hunter's Fury.
Oh, he's sidestepping him.
Oh, he does. He is managing to get a little bit of chip damage there, but unfortunately, the classic tragic tale of the Sova. You get shot down right as your mid shot with your bow.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it seems like, you know, the communication is kind of interesting for Landslides. Sometimes there's a lot of people kind of pushing long right there, but he has no one to back him up. So Sova goes to use a shock dart, and then Dan peeks him by himself, and, you know, next you can't do anything about that. You get picked off.
Prestige has the knives, going to be using the updraft to go onto the top, but gets mowed down by the Vandal, following by Delete, evening it up somewhat, but it's still a 2-4. Delete managing to get a double there, being clutch, is going to swap over to the Classic, and is going to get taken out by Enzo on the op.
Enzo's been kind of terrorizing this op. I think, you know, he's doing a good job of basically playing somewhere kind of new every round, so that Landslide's kind of have to guess of, hey, is he going to be around this corner? Or?
Okay, well, what am I seeing here? For the Wildcats, is Jet really the bottom fragger and Cypher is the top fragger for this round? Is this some sort of role reversal that I'm seeing here?
It seems like Wildcats are just even all across the board.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are.
You always kind of like seeing that, right? I mean, you shows that, you know, full-on teamwork there going on from them.
He's going to be tossing out that ball.
He does get the second one too to the wall. Oh my gosh.
That's a NZO unstoppable, was looking for the opportunity to overtake Cypher on the scoreboard. That's certainly going to do it. All that's left is this Sova here. And that's not a good thing you want to see. The op just whizzing right past you. Oh, and gets taken out with the Frenzy too on top of that. Now the Wildcats are just showing off.
I will say Enzio and Dan's that long C play, I mean the long A play was honestly phenomenal. Enzio gets one and then he can peek again because this guy just reflashes and he has the close, you know, if they try to push him two at once. So phenomenal team play there from the Wildcats, and it just shows that like this team seems like they're very in sync. Like, you know, they everything they're doing is communicated, and they're all on the same page right now. There's not really a hole in the gap, you know, but we'll see how it keeps going. Landsides, they get that one round, so they can do it. They know they can. It's just they got to get that eco back and hopefully win around and get that full buy for them.
Gonna toss out that shock dart. Unfortunately, they're going to have to deal, unless they go right here with the Astra Smokes. I don't think he sees that tripwire, though, and Karma is raiding right there with open arms to lead them into the afterlife. Wildcats are going to be going 4-3 here in great position.
Seems like Enzio got a frenzy kill, by the way, at the beginning of the round.
You know, I've managed to make the op work somewhat. I've gotten pretty good at the op. Even, you know, I don't like the Marshal that much, but sometimes I can make a play. I cannot make a play for the life of me with the Frenzy.
Yeah.
It's just that thing. I'm really great at making outlines of all of the other players with the Frenzy.
Oh, Enzio has knives going crazy.
Wow. And then the other player, like from the complete other side of the map, manages to get 2 headshots with the Frenzy and just take you out. So.
Yeah, or like the running gun from their Frenzy always gets you. But whenever you have it, you know, you can't hit a single bullet. Wow, it seems like Wildcats just... I will say, on these save rounds, Wildcats do not show a bit of hesitation. They will take everything they can and push you out.
Yeah, they are definitely... It doesn't seem like they do have a down round here. This Sova, we saw the Ares be brought out by the Wildcats earlier. Now they have gone the full upgrade to the Odin. And so that might come into play. Maybe they think that Landslides are thinking of maybe pushing through B here. He's going to flank, unfortunately. Going to get caught out. NCO getting 1 pick with the op. It is 4v4 now.
So if Landslides, you know, kind of notice the pattern there, they should know that like C is typically where Cypher plays. So that could be an open slot for them. Seems they're kind of going through mid, maybe going for that B take. They do have a 44. Enzo is still alive with that op, so they have to be careful about that.
Now the Sky rotating over towards B here. Been very successful with the flashes against the Landslides. It looks like they're rotating out through Garage towards C here, where I actually don't see any members of the Wildcats, so this is wide open for them. Yeah,
it seems like they kind of figured out that the Cypher's not there. That means, you know, C should be open, so they had a good rotate here, but let's see how they play this post-plant. They still have the divide there from Astra, so I don't know if they're going to hold that for next round or something like that. Ooh.
Well, that's going to be a good way to even it up for the Wildcats. A double from Surge there.
Yep.
Stopped by Prestige. Now 2v2. It's all up to the Omen. Not going to be able to do it. Wildcats able to go to 10-1.
Yeah, Prestige got that first kill, and then he kind of was like, well, maybe there's not another one in Garage, and it turned out he was behind him, so a little unfortunate there.
But the one question you did have, Red Hots, was the divide going to be used?
Yep.
And they did use it to secure this round.
And I think it's very worth. I think, you know, Wildcats are kind of showing it sometimes, even if it's, you know, 2v4 or something like that with numbers, it's worth to just get the ult and win the round, right? So I think we have yet to see the ult from Delete, and then we've also haven't seen the Empress from Crows. So this is the final round, so I'd be hoping if we could kind of see both of those or even just something along those lines. It is hard for the Cypher ult, like we said. You know, you got to have that good angle and kind of be safe for that. So. And
also unfortunate for the Cypher is just the eco just got messed up for this last round. He's going to have to settle for the Spectre.
Which so far, I will say, Landslide's eco rounds, they have been getting a couple kills here and there, so that does help them at least in that front. That's a great first start. That's what they need.
Be eliminating Karma there. Now going to throw out some shock darts there, right into heaven there. It seems like the one member going to do a little bit of spray for confidence before they move in towards A there. Going to be able to pick up 2, though. And that's a nice mind hack by the Cypher. Unfortunately, Surge, they're the hero
Ace.
for the Wildcats. Ace, press that button. That is our first Esports Tower ace of this finals here. What a great play for the Wildcats.
Wow. I mean, just when I thought Landslides kind of had that sight going in, you know, they got picks here and there, and then Surge said, well, I'm still here, and ends up getting the ace. It was a, wow.
That goes there.
And that's just good old-fashioned gunplay right there. He got it with the classic too. I didn't even notice that.
I didn't either.
Oh, the Wildcats fully bringing out the BM with the Frenzy and the classics to cap it all off. And now we're even just going to go with the shorty too, because this is already enough of a train wreck. So let's just bring those shorties out. Go all shorties, if you will. 5 shorties. That's what I'm on board for right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty favorable for the Wildcats here, but see if Landslides can at least kind of go out with a bang and see if they get a couple rounds and say, hey, we're better than this, and we can kind of show you that we got something going. Seems like they are going C here.
That's a lot of info to get off of that Owl drone.
Wow.
Basically, you know, Owl drone, if it doesn't get shot down in 0 to 2 seconds, then that is so much information that your team is, that the other team is gaining over you. Dan going to be picking up a nice NZO with the triple. Now looking for the final one to close this out. Against them are going to get the flawless against Delete. Certainly deleted him and is now looking at match point.
Yeah, and I think on the sides of Landslides, you just got to full buy and, you know, hope that something goes on. It seems like Surge goes for the Spectre, actually. Ends up not going with the Ares, but Karma Bench going with the Judge. See what he's going to do with that thing.
Yeah, especially since, you know, like you said, Cypher normally holds down C, but the one place on this map that doesn't really have that many corners is going to be C long, so going to really have to maybe choose Garage instead. We're going to have to see how this plays out.
Oh.
He's going to get that nice
Cool
lineup
dart
there. He's going to use the updraft right onto the crate in the center of C. Plant is going to go down. He sees over there and is able to take him out, giving the Wildcats the advantage they need. Spike is down, needs to be defused by the Landslides if they want to have any chance at this. This is their last stand. Unfortunately for them, looks like their last stand is going to be ended pretty soon unless Surge Surge, especially with the shock dart to end it. That's gonna do it. Wildcats, oh boy, if they wanted to make a statement for the finals, they certainly did it.
Yeah, so the finals now will be the Wildcats versus the Drought, and wow, that was a convincing win from the Wildcats there, really showing kind of what team play can be, right? I mean, they just used everything in sync, and speaking of that, you know what, going it out alone can only go so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We just saw the Wildcats last game playing phenomenally with utility together and really showing what you can do together as, you know, a team. You can see how talented these players are. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd also like to shout out the coaches. And if you haven't watching, check out Esports Clubs, you should. It's a fast track to rank up. And I think, once again, Esports Tower is a great kind of opportunity for kids in high school sometimes, not getting, you know, sometimes school doesn't have esports at all, and so it shows that, you know, it's more than solo queue, and you can kind of get that experience to get to a team.
Yeah, especially when you have choices like the Astra, which I just think was such a constant thorn in the Landslide sides. They really used her to the fullest ability. You could really see the team synergy brought out to its full potential there. So Wildcat's going to be very hard to go up against in this final.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we're going to be going to our break, but when we come back, it's going to be the finals of our Esports Club Championships with Drought versus Wildcats.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. And who will claim the club championship for the Fall Valorant Rumble? Wildcat Esports take on the Drought, and we start this series off on one of our favorite maps in Tower, Ascent.
Yeah, Ascent, definitely a very classic stage. It's going to be great to get to that. But before we do, we want to take a little bit of time to honor some of the players that are in the Esports Tower.
Yep, and the Esports Tower has given a lot of scholarships out, and they've been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower club members have received over $1.2 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. We cannot be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting, and especially the Valorant section. It seems like there's been so many scholarship opportunities from these players and have got to go on to the next level due to Esports Tower.
It's more than half if you do the math.
Yeah. And I mean, with all the series we've kind of seen, it kind of makes sense. With all of these series, we've seen so many teams kind of grow over the fall and, have gotten so much better and just over as players and team. And so it's love to see that, and that's all thanks to Esports Tower.
Well, now we're going to be ready to get into the second match of the night. Actually, this is going to be the finals of the night, with the Droughts going up against Wildcat Esports in a best of 3. Wildcat certainly looking like an unstoppable force, but the Droughts are going to need all the advice that they can get, and I know one person, Red Hots, who's really qualified to give us advice.
Yeah, and I think that's Doc right there. So we have the Doc's keys to the game, and those are always, the things that you have to deal with, right? So Doc's keys to the game are presented today by Esports Tower, and in Valorant you want to focus angles and flank, know your win conditions, you want to count cards, call the abilities, and then of course you want to click heads. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And speaking of that, it's now, the first game kind of going on. So we are going to be on Ascent. I think Ascent as a map in whole is pretty interesting. I think a lot of teams play this differently, right? We've seen teams kind of just do the force strat where they'll just go A main and, just kind of force it down with all the utility and work together. We've also seen teams kind of work that mid or, kind of play with the think they're going A and then they'll do huge rotates out. So I guess today we'll kind of see what these teams end up going with their strats. So I love to see agent selection on this map as well. Anything that you'd like to see, Jem?
Well, one thing I noticed from the Wildcats when they were in Haven in the semifinals is that their Sova was very fond of the wallbang. And if there's one place that a Sova is going to love to use that Odin, it's right here on B. Just that huge wall, a Sova with an Odin can just completely shut down that route for B. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Wildcats take advantage of that when they're defending.
Yeah, I think Sovas on this map have some of the craziest lineups we can see. There's a lot of lineups on A site specifically that it just makes it so it's so hard to actually take advantage and see where they're at. but it seems like we got a lot of interesting hovers here so far.
It's been a while since I've seen KO as well, so he's going to be great if he is chosen. No, it just looks like they were teasing us. We are going to still see the Astra be brought out, which is such a force to deal with. And also the KJ being brought out, very standard kind of Sentinel choice here on Ascent.
I would say the Drought are usually a typical team who actually kind of end up doing that strat where they just run one duelist in the sky. They usually don't kind of run that two duelist comp, and especially on Ascent, you know, they kind of are opting more for the sky utility to help them out here.
Yeah, they're going to be, with the Sky and the Sova, you're going to be able to get so much information on where the other team is on the field. So really no huge difference between these two teams. We just see that instead we're going to see a 2 Sentinel loadout versus a 2 Initiator loadout between these two teams.
Yeah, it seems like they were hovering the Sova almost kind of the entire, but it seems like they wanted to go with the Sage. It seems like they're more comfortable with it and stuff like that. The one thing I will say is Drought attack-wise is probably going to be a little harder than normal. It seems like, you know, they're kind of really rely on, you know, Maeve and DRW to kind of get those entries in with that Sky Jet combo. But their defense should be pretty solid here, and so, you know, interested to see how these first couple rounds go.
We'll also have to see what is chosen. It seems like more small shields are being considered for the Wildcats, just kind of sticking with the default classic, whereas Drought isn't really going for shields, instead wants to get the ghosts.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, teams, I think Pistol Round has always kind of been, you know, are you kind of an armor person? Are you kind of a ghost person? And so it seems like, you know, they're kind of opting with a lot of the ghosts here. And excited to see these two teams play, though. You know, Drought's been doing a phenomenal job these last couple weeks, have, you know, fought a lot of hard opponents to get here, and same with the Wildcat Esports. So first round is now about to go.
Well, the first route, it looks like the Droughts are choosing, is going to be that A route that you were talking about, but they are also leaving open mid and one person on B as a possibility. It looks like the Wildcats already have one person set up on B. It is, of course, going to be the Sova, who's just waiting to throw out those shock darts. Should he get the information from the Killjoy turret as well? That is just beautiful coordination there. That's a little bit of an unfortunate hawk, but
yeah,
let's take a mulligan and try that again.
Seems like Maeve was just kind of seeing some information on B main, but now kind of working that mid in.
We see the Astra Smoke being placed on the dog walk there. It's going to make Enzio's job a little bit harder. Rotating back over toward B, though, so despite that initial bit of chip damage from the shock dart, they are still considering B actually mid now as their option. They're going to have 2 players. They're going to throw again.
Yeah, they got a little Astra Smoke there.
Yeah, take dog walk out of it. That is a great flash, though, by Wildcats. Unfortunately, they're going to get that swarm grenade placed right up there and able to take out Sky from around the corner. Also use the pole to get the Killjoy out of line of sight there. She's waiting right for Maeve. They're going to take Maeve out.
Last player standing.
Wildcats still managing to hold down defense there.
Let's say it was pretty close there. Drought kind of was getting that mid. And I like that the ultimate decision at the very end of it. They got 2 pretty low on the Wildcat Esports. It just seemed like those headshots couldn't land, and it seemed like that could be the difference there. But overall, I think Drought had a good, you know, opportunity there, and it seemed like they were kind of at least in sync, right? They were all kind of going through that mid together, and shows that, you know, hey, at least they're on the same page there.
And as soon as the Sova gets the opportunity to choose the Ares to wall bang point B, he is going to use it. I was expecting that. I'm going to be very excited to see it. Also, Surge can be a bit of a wild card. Remember on Haven, he used that Hunter's Fury right at the start of the round, just kind of guessed where the other team was and was able to do it. So he is insane just kind of knowing where the other team is, getting information so far on these general stages. We're going to see kind of the one-way smoke placed down there around A. Might trying to be rotate around towards mid. Unfortunately, they are going to be outgunned, especially in long range that mid has here. So they're just waiting, trying to get one sort of pick there. It's going to be very hard to press through B with that Ares.
Yeah, and it seems like Wildcats are playing very patient here. You know, and obviously they've beaten the Landslides as one of the top teams in the Esports Tower here, but so they know we know they can play here, and they're slowly defending this A site here.
They're going to close that door right there and able to get one pick onto Karma. Going to be continuing on to Jan and able to pick them up. NZO, though, trying to even it up, getting a double there. Now it's 3v3. They need to get that spike down there, maybe try to get that little bit of ego. Unfortunately, that Sage is going to be caught all alone while the other members are at choke trying to fight for their lives. Look at the very low health, though, that Sky has. So just staring at her meanly will be able to take her out and be able to even this up to a 1-to-1. Oh. Unfortunately, that Ares, she's going to have to deal with that Wallbane, and that heal is still 10 seconds away on cooldown, which is time that they do not have. They got to try to plant the spike, but as soon as they do, the audio cue from the Ares, I don't think they're even going to go for the spike.
They should go for this.
No.
Oh. I will say there, on the side of Wildcat Esports, I'm pretty sure very minimal was bought. So they can actually do a full buy here, except for Surge. Everyone else kind of had, I think Enzo had a Sheriff, and everyone else just had classic pistols. So that was just straight up just save round from the Wildcat Esports side, besides, you know, Surge, I would say.
And now we see the fruits of that. We see that op being brought out on round 3. They definitely want to lock down that bonus.
Say, Enzo so far, and you know, tonight has kind of gone perfectly how they, you know, want. They save first round, second round, and they get the op third round, which is, you know, really hard to deal with.
Unfortunately, their initial press into A is going to be stopped by that Karma smoke. Going to try to throw out that Hawk, is going to at least see that there's no one hiding in that corner, so now they move on to the main choke point. Innocently smoked out by that Astra. Going to try to gain a little bit more information from the dog, throw out the Hawk, and then it is go time. Here we go. How does it work? They are able to get to the door and close it. They don't see, though, waiting below heaven, there is Young, and they are able to take him out, bring it to a 4-to-4. Killjoy turret is going to be going up, getting a bit more presence on the point. They are just trying to get those sidelines onto heaven, where basically Wildcats, they are all bunched up around heaven. That could make them really vulnerable to any sort of well-placed CC or a well-placed swarm grenade. We're going to have to see how it works. They're going to get blinded there. The Jet dashes in Wallbane against Devin. And there goes NZO taking out Maven. Oh, look at Orthodox, though, with the triple. It is 1-to-1, but the headshot fight is not going to go in favor of the Drought, but a worthy try.
That was a fantastic round back and forth here. The one thing I will say is Enzo seems to not really care that they have an op half the time. They'll swap to a... They swapped to a classic and dashed on sight.
That's kind of been the trademark for the Wildcats, really.
I guess they have just absolutely no second thoughts about going in as a team, because like Enzo here just smokes and dashes into it, just does not actually care in the slightest.
It smokes, and especially after that Hawk missed as well. So I think maybe that was the cue, or maybe they just, even though they were blinded, they dashed in. Whatever the case, the Wildcats are certainly fearless right now. We're going to see Orthodox bring out that Marshal, as well as a bunch of Sheriffs. And unfortunately, though, I don't know if you really want to face up against B here. There are a lot of Wallbane opportunities. They were able to get some nice chip damage, though, against Surge. So that's a good start, at least.
Hey, which so far that's been I will say, Surge has... I want to see how much damage this guy's done in shock darts.
I know. He's a shock dart main, basically.
Yeah, like every round, there's not one person on Drought who is full HP from not getting hit by one of his shock darts.
And it seems when the shock darts hit, they, especially when Droughts are all bunched up like this, getting tons of mileage out of that shock dart. They have one member hanging back on me. We were just talking about it. He's able to take out Maeve. Wildcats doing a tremendous job here. And that is just going to make them say, you know what, we'll take our chances on mid. One of our members waiting back there instantly. Let's just try this. I don't want to go up against that Sova anymore.
And DRW was at 7 HP from that shock dart just as well. Almost took 2 down with that. And now they're like, well, I guess we got to take mid here and see if Drought can kind of rotate out of this site.
Oh, trying to get the Wallbane there with that Marshal as well. The smoke is going to be placed down by the Astra. Now they're going to say, hey, we're going to go over to A. But look out, waiting in Garden is a nasty surprise. Going to get flashed by the Hawk. They're going to go charging in there. They're going to throw down that Astra smoke, try to buy themselves some time, which they do not have a lot of right now. They need to get through and plant the spike. They try to go through, but Yun is still waiting right there, able to take up DRW. Dan also going to pick up one. It is now 3 3-2. They do not have time. Looks like they're going to, try to pick up one of the guns to save there. Unfortunately, get taken out. A little bit of a post-round duel here. And only the Astra, Devin, is able to survive that round. Still with the op, though.
Yep.
So that was a nice save.
That was sad. I think we kind of saw that Devin was the last one alive, but as soon as they kind of got the spike planter down, it was just kind of hard to actually go with 4.6 seconds I think left. So they kind of had to just go for kills there, and it turns out didn't work in their favor. But they do have an op now on Maeve. We have seen Maeve kind of do some work with the op, and they're going to need her to kind of basically mimic that tonight, because they're going to need some big plays here coming from this op.
Good news is if they get enough information, they can kind of take out people like the Sova. Look at that aggressive peek, though, by NZO. Going to use that dash to get out of there. Certainly what the Jet is good of, aggressive peeks, then getting out of there fast. They pick up the spike. They're going to have to deal with a one-person disadvantage. The only thing they have is that Killjoy. So they can use that to clear out A, especially since there are a lot of members from Wildcats around point A. Unfortunately, they don't know that right now. Only the Sova is still looking around B. They're going to try to get some sort of peek here, while the Wildcats have Dog Walk locked down.
Orthodox is kind of walking here. Orthodox been doing well so far.
Nice.
Yep, big pick.
That is a huge pick, especially against NZO. Now they're gonna try to do what they did last time. Try to mosey on past Garden here, not get flashed by the Hawk, which unfortunately they do. Now they're gonna have to go into A there. At least they know people are holding down A. The team is rotating off, gonna try to smoke off Heaven. And there goes Yun with a headshot from the Vandal. They are one down again.
Well, I will say that was phenomenal utility there from Wildcat Esports to allow the rest of the two to kind of rotate over. Now it's really hard for Drought to kind of take sight here.
Ooh, nice play there. Instantly, it goes right back toward the Drought. They're going to have enough time with the op picking up the last one. That is the win that the Drought needed to end their drought of wins, if you will.
And that's fair, though. I mean, Drought has actually always kind of favored Ascent. It's always been their best map. They practice with it a lot, so hopefully we can kind of see that coming back now with a little bit of confidence. And Maeve with the op got 2 picks there. That's huge, as long as Orthodox as well getting that opening pick.
And I always love scenes. I always love seeing some good Phantom play. And we have had at least the 2 stages here are ones that the Phantom is more viable on. It just has more forgiveness with the spray. Even though you can't, one-shot person with the heads, it's just, it can still do a lot of work, and they're going to get paralyzed by that dog. Unfortunately, they're just going to have to wait a little bit, but that guy's going to get a ton of information. We have seen Wildcats pulling out the knives, though, trying to go up against Maeve with the op, who's going to get found out there, and the flanks gets stopped right before it can start. Karma going to be taken out by Maeve.
Some great game sense by Maeve, just kind of checking behind her and end up getting the pick. That's huge. Kind of opens up the map a little more, and it seems like Droughts might be doing another, I guess, rotate to A. We'll see.
Ooh, that's some great knife play, though, by NZO. Been the one to even it up between both of these teams. Spike is picked up, though, by Maeve, who's going to go right back to staring down Dog Walk. We still see the Sky is right on the other side of this wall. Orthodox is going to maybe try to peek. They know Sky there is going to be able to go in hot pursuit, but look out for NZO with the triple now. An ace is not out of the realm of possibility. We're going to have to see how it works out.
I don't think we've ever seen a knife ace before, so that'd be pretty crazy here. Yep, great job there.
Well, they've been a rarer species ever since the right click was nerfed.
True. Yeah, that is very true.
Just going to see how it works out.
Oh,
Yun's going to take the ace, but you know what? They still get the win. That's what really matters in the end, and they're going to be able to steal the op, too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't think NZO is going to be too, sad about that. When,
I have an op.
Yeah. You got 4 of them, too, That was your time. You didn't deserve the 5th one. I'm just kidding. But that's what I always tell people. When people are like, sometimes, in Valorant and in League, it's like, yo, give me the ace, give me the penta. And it's like, well, if you deserved it, you would get it, That's what I like to say to them.
That's what you tell your duelists who just got a quad.
Yep.
You take the last kill and you say, hey, you know what? I really did all the work
yes,
there. You're
exactly.
just getting all the credit.
Yep, that last one was all me.
Well, there we go. The dog is going to be thrown out, still giving the Sky some great information. Now going to throw the Hawk out as well, as they're going to be able to get a blind, delaying the push from Drought again. But Drought is a very patient team. They're going to see if B is an option right now. Surge is just waiting right there with the Sova's going to reposition. Hawk goes out on B, so they're kind of doing a split push right now. Unfortunately, that is not a good position that you want to be in. Mid is a dangerous place with that op now held by NZO. We're going to see how well they can rotate around. One of them's just going to go right back through spawn, take mid out of the equation, and try to push B.
Yeah, Mave does not have the operator this round, so they're going to be kind of going back to the Vandal strat. A lot of their kind of openings for these sites have been getting picks on the site themselves from the defense kind of pushing up on the Wildcat side, but they're using this Killjoy ult here and kind of taking on site.
Oh, look at Karma, though, standing strong, being able to take out Orthodox. They get found out. Good opportunity for Drought to plant here. Unfortunately, Wildcats have been so good with the Hawks. But that Hawk is not going to make out for how little health Dan had.
Oh
Again,
my gosh.
just the pure BM from NZO. Being able to get the triple. Okay, you already got one classic. Okay, Jan is going to, in characteristic fashion like he did last time, take the last kill away from NZO.
I will say, NZO has probably the most confidence I've ever seen out of players in Esports Tower. And, like, I don't like the moment that Sky Flash went out from Dan, it flashed, and the moment it did, NZO went from CT, dashed in through them, and then smoked and just took them down at the classic when they have an operator. It's
this
like
is kind of the double back reverse psychology.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put so much fear into your soul with this op, only to pull the classic out on you at the very end. I wasn't expecting that. Definitely going to want to try to get out of the way of Maith, who pulls out the knives, but is going to have that play stopped a little bit as the Sova is going to find out that she is there. Going to try again here, though. Surge still holding down B. Also has to be mindful, though, of that Killjoy on the other side of A here. Going to be able to take the Killjoy out with the Guardian, too. And so since this is a save round, it looks like from the Drought, any sort of picks that they can get and take away some weapons from Wildcats is going to be good enough.
Ooh, Maeve might meet NZO here. Do they actually get the flick or not? We'll see. Yep.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not going to be able to take that op away quite yet.
Okay, Devin's kind of setting up here. Drought looking for the A. They still have DRW kind of playing in that gate area. Does have full HP. They do have Seekers too. They have 3 ults, but I don't know if they're really going to use it from each team. We'll kind of see what they end up going with.
Both teams have really kind of been judicious with their ults.
Yeah.
They haven't been too trigger happy on them.
I think besides the Killjoy ult on Drought's side, they've done a really good job of kind of setting up those attacks of just kind of ripping the Killjoy ult and going with that.
Well, it looks like both teams have their minds on A. They're going to go through the door, sneak through, can see them right around the corner. A double there, and is going to make a triple overall with that Guardian. Great job from Orthodox. They're going to be able to plant here and push the smoke down and steal some weapons away from the Wildcats. On top of that, of course, the ultimate prize is going to be NZO with the op. Can they plant in time? I think they do. NZO trying to come in and get the ace at the very last moment. Are they going to be able to do it? It's a clutch there from Wildcats, preventing them from getting the plant and the ace after the fact. NZO, what more can you say?
Wow. NZO is just really popping off here. And I will say Orthodox is doing a fantastic job. Orthodox had a 4K this round, and they still wasn't enough.
Peak.
Man, NZO just went crazy here. Gets the pick, gets the knives out, and just says, I can defend this site.
You see the classic, too. I keep on not noticing that.
Okay, I'm going to say this. NZO knows something about the classic that everyone doesn't.
Yeah.
Because, like, no matter how many times I use the classic or something like that, there's no way I could, reproduce that.
You know, maybe it's a sheriff disguised as a
Maeve
classic.
does get a pick right off the bat for it. I think she's going to try to get this op out. Oh,
the flash is, though, going to
hit her with the smoke.
But you know what? If I can't see, you can't see as well. So basically that nice pick by Devin is going to go through there. Going to be able to pick up one of those weapons there. They're going to plant again, and Maeve using that op. The good thing is NZO is out of the picture now, so that op is no longer going to be used by the Wildcats. They're going to have to spend for another. Only thing left is this Killjoy from Wildcats. Oh, that is unfortunate. They do not want that op to go over to the other side, though. I still think that they're going to be able to take this away. And isn't that unfortunate, though?
Uh-oh.
The door that you lower to try to protect the spike is actually going to hinder you in the end, and Karma, with that op that they picked up, is going to be able to get another kill. They're going to try to wallbang right here. They know Karma's there, but it's a little bit of a tiptoe dance around all the bullets.
Do they know he's on the wall?
You know, it might not have been a round that they could have won, but Karma made the most of it.
I mean, got 3 down, and I will say Drought's eco isn't really in a spot where they can kind of afford that. So
Yeah.
now we're going to see that it is forcing a Bulldog there, and they didn't get the op though. I don't know if they was kind of like
I thought they picked it up at the end.
Yeah, I don't know if if they forgot, or maybe was like, actually no, just like I'm not feeling the op. Like
maybe the post round thing of your use.
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
the post round thing of you're trying to show off, but then you hit the wrong button and accidentally drop the op. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the heads there. The person who's going to be doing the real thing and getting into the other team's head is going to be Surge there with that shock dart, picking off the Drought again. That's a nice shot with the Sheriff there. It is 3v3 for both of these teams. Drought trying to make their way through B, but is going to have a tough time going up against Surge here. 1, and it looked like it might have been 2 there. But Dan doing great work for the Wildcats. Look at this sneaky rotate, though, around from Drought is going to be able to take the Wildcats completely off guard.
Orthodox has 2 molly lineups. That's what it's for. It's when they're walking to the spike there. Okay, it is a 2v2 though. They do have the res and the Drought, but I don't think they can really be in a spot where they can res anyone. So we're going to see the 2v2. I don't know if we'll see ults.
You might see the Killjoy trying to buy time, because this is a sneaky location. They can just plant it down.
But they do have the Hunter's Fury to counter that.
They do. Yes, they do have that as well.
Oh,
not going to use it. Just some great gunplay by Orthodox. Going to be able to get a win for the Drought.
I will say, Orthodox is showing up in this match. I think Championship, he's ready to go. He's been doing phenomenal so far, and he's been playing a lot of, I guess, like lurking angles where they're not really expecting it, and then he's kind of winning those 1v1s. Like, he has 17 kills, and the second place is 8. It's basically him versus Enzio right now, if you think about it. But the thing is, though, I will say is Surge may have only 5 kills, but he has 8 assists, and those shock darts are making it really hard for Droughts to fight on an even playing field.
Yeah, it really has been closing off B for them. Look at all of these ultimates lined up, though. Yeah. We are getting so close to the halfway point. If they are not used this round, then it is going to be so chaotic next round. Looks like the first one's going to be used. The Hunter's Fury. Orthodox is in a bad position here, though. But it looks like they are going to be able to escape with actually no real damage pushed onto them. So that's a nice relief. They're going to take out that turret. There are 2 still waiting, though, from the Wildcats. They're going to throw out the blind. Didn't hear the audio cue, though, so they don't get blinded. Wildcats can still see where Drought might be. Drought has managed to charge up their knives one last time. Looking at a full slate of ultimates here.
Yep, Seekers and Killjoy. I like that combination here. We do have the Dissipate up from Devin, but will he use as well? Oh, nice res.
That is a very crucial res to help keep the Drought in the fight. It is going to be 4v4. Unfortunately for them, Yun with a double there, and a wallbang from Dan as well, and the shock dart from Surge. It was just bound to happen eventually, and a team ace from the Wildcats. My goodness.
I will say, Droughts dropped, Seekers and the Killjoy ult, but Wildcats really couldn't care. They just kind of held their ground and ended up just basically getting a kill from each one of their teams. So they really, really hard to break their will for that.
And unfortunately for the Drought, their eco this round is not looking good.
We are going to see Maeve have knives, so at least that's something. I don't know if they're going to have enough to really buy anything. I think that the Singers, just in case the knives kind of time out here. But I guess we'll kind of see if the Dissipate's used as well. I don't think each side Dissipate has really been used this half yet.
Well, knives brought out by Drought. Devin is contemplating B here. Now, both these Astro Walls are available.
Oh, every time, man. The Surge is just so impressive.
Oh, and that gives the information to Dan and NZO. To get those picks, though, Maeve with the knives able to take out NZO. That was the crucial pick. You got the top fragger out of the way for Wildcats. Now, can you get a second? Oh, gets a little bit, but it's going to get the flank there from Jan. Orthodox is going to try to get some revenge there, but now has to fight up against 3 with the Bulldog. He is the best player, though, for the Drought, so can we see something happen here? It's going to be a tall task, but he might be able to do it. Gonna guess again, the dog is gonna be mowed down there. Has to try to find a way to get out of this position. Gonna be pinched in from both sides by Wildcats.
Yeah. Because like the thing was, Orthodox was kind of looking back and forth, but at that point he had to kind of commit one way. And man, I mean, these Wildcats are so aggressive on defense. They really kind of switched it up.
Like that 21-7 for NZO.
I mean, it is really crazy to see. I mean, Enzio is just going, like, he's doing such a good job. And I think Droughts have an opportunity. I don't know if they might take a timeout here to kind of recollect their thoughts. Because, I mean, they are winning rounds, right? It is 9-3, the 9-3 curse, as people do say in this game. You never know. But I guess this kind of Drought hopefully have a good defense going. They do have a more defensive-sided team, I'd say, kind of, you know, going with those 2 Sentinels, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can kind of get it going and start with a pistol round. I think pistol round is very important to win here for the Drought side.
We're going to see how it has to work out there. Orthodox is going to look like they're going to be taking mid here. Set up their turret on B to lock that down.
Yeah, I also want to see Surge's attack shock darts, see if they're just as potent. Because his defense shock darts were, he created an invisible force field of, hey, do not go past here.
Looks like Doc very well approves of the performance from these teams here. We're going to see now what the Wildcats want to do. What attack route really is going to catch their attention. They're turning their attention towards A here. DRW waiting in Garden. We already have Devin up in Heaven as well. Looks like both teams are now fully committing to A, with a little bit of attention still being pushed toward mid.
They haven't really confirmed, I think, yet with numbers, but Dan does get an opening frag, and so does Enzo. But they did trade back with Devin.
That's a good start with the Frenzy. Unfortunately, Drought are going to be down 3-4.
Devin has a heal on the way.
That's got to be frustrating. Wildcats. Now it's 1v4.
Oh, wow.
All they have is a classic and a hope. Unfortunately, he's going to get caught right in the middle of the reload. Still managed to survive and does have the heal. Oh, no. They're pinching him in from all sides now. That's managed to get one. That's something there. Oh, no. They're going for the knife.
Oh. Wow. Enzo took the knife. I mean, that was crazy. There's a lot of back and forth.
I see how it works, Enzo. You're going to bring out all the BM plays that you want with the classic or something, but when your teammate tries to go for the knife, that's just unacceptable. You still have standards.
Yeah, they need to finish him off before. It was kind of like a, hey, you know what? We'll make sure to get the classic kill.
And we do actually see the timeout is being brought out by the Drought.
And I think that's really smart. I think the Droughts are kind of positioned where it's 10-3 now. They lost the first round, so they really have to kind of, you know, think about, hey, how do we practice? You know, what are we doing different than we usually do? Let's just get basically our game plan back in effect here. Let's just set some, you know, guidelines down. And hopefully that can kind of help them at least just reset their mental a little bit and be like, hey, you know what? We just need to do what we know best, you know. And if at the end of the day that doesn't work out, then at least you did, you know, at least you're happy with at least we tried what we did, right? So
click B, pick up a classic and dream. Well, that's certainly what the Drought is doing right now. They're certainly dreaming by going all classics here. They're just going to go a completely full save.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of want to go with that 11. Like if they lose this round, it'd be 11-3, and then kind of just have a full buy and go up from there. So
see how it works out. Going to be taken out by NZO with the Ghost though. Going to get a double there. DRW blinded by that Hawk. Maeve able to get one pick against NZO though. Picks up the Ghost as well. Still trying to fight. Unfortunately gets hit right there, brought down to 36 health. Both of them not doing too well on health. Is able to get the blind, but the wallbang going to take them down to 4 health. And Dan just picks them off like that. Wildcats cruising toward another win.
Yeah, they did get one, which is kind of nice here, but this is going to be the ultimate kind of test here. Drought really needs to win this round to get something going. They have a full buy versus kind of the bonus there from Wildcat Esports. So this is probably their best chance of kind of getting something going. And Enzio does go with the upgrades. They're going to kind of have at least one Phantom and one Bulldog, it seems. But for next round, they should have basically all guns, and I think Enzio will have knives at the very least. So I think that's their kind of plan with that.
This is the all-in play also from Drought, going with the full buy here. Oh, throws up the wall there, but that wall is mowed down so fast. Wow, that's insane. Enzio already getting the advantage against the Drought. They cannot lose here. This is their all-in play. They're not going to have credits after this round. They have to get some picks. And now, Devin is going to try to firing through the smoke. Is he going to be able to do it? More smoke is going to be pushed up. DRW throwing out the Hawk, trying to get some sort of blind. All of the Wildcats are centered around B as they have planted down their spike. DRW trying to get some sort of sneaky pick. Their Orthodox just staring right into the abyss of smoke, waiting to get some sort of visibility here.
Oh, good flash there.
That's a good play by Yum there. Devin only able to get one, and with the lesser weapons, Wildcats still wins. And to rub salt in the wound, all of those prime weapons are now taken away from the Drought, and they got to defend with, I don't know, a few Bulldogs,
yeah.
a Spectre.
Definitely wasn't ideal, but I will say Enzio really just does, I don't think anything stops this guy. He gets sage walled, and the first thing he does is he breaks it and then just walks through.
Look, 20, he's going to get 30. Just one pick here, and he's going to have 30. 38-0 in KDA. That is insane. He is unstoppable. Will he be able to break the 30? All he needs is one here. Gonna see how it plays out. Orthodox, though, is gonna get the first one. Still a hope for the Drought there as they manage to get a crucial pick. Enzio has the knife should he choose to. They're just going right in, rushing towards A for a heroic last stand. Some key healing being brought out by the Drought. Can they get the victory that they were looking for here with this A rush? Drought is going to try to fight back. Knives brought out by Enzio. Looking for that 30. Gets smoked out, though. This is the start, though. But Yun with the double answered. Going in clutch, though. Some key fighting back, though. Drought is up 2-1. They still have to defuse. Can they get the last one? Hiding out below heaven here is Dan. They're going to try to do the fake out there. And now try to get the peek around. Who's going to win that shot? It is Dan getting the win for the Wildcat Esports. What a tremendous win.
Yeah, the Wildcats dominated this first game on Droughts, and overall just kind of showed that they have a good team going on here, right? Want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, game producers? Then join the club. Esports Tower players get inside access to industry's insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. That's brought to you by Esports Tower. And they have a great job in just showing right now that the Wildcats are just tearing through. I mean, yeah. It seems like the momentum they've had from semifinals and even going on to this, it's really hard to stop them. And like we said, we saw Enzio go crazy that last game, but at the very least, there was still 4 members in their team who contributed a lot to that game. Like, their utility usage is just so hard to deal with, and it just shows that, like, you really can't predict them, to be honest. Right. Like, we know that, you know, the Sova's going to be at B, but the thing is are they going to swap Enzio there for the round? Or are they going to, you know, shift someone over? But the Droughts did have a couple rounds there. I think they can kind of bring it back for this game, too. They just got to make sure they collect themselves and say, hey, let's play the game that we know how to play and go on from there.
Enzio, obviously being the top fragger, stealing a lot of praise, but you really got to praise the other members. You mentioned the Initiator, and what's the job of the Initiator? To get info to try to set up your duelist so that they can shine. And Surge, being so great with the Sova, was just landing the darts everywhere with the Recon. And, of course, the Shock darts were insane, had some great plays with those. So even though the Wildcats have those great duelists that can make those flashy plays, it's all of the teammates working together to have such a well-oiled machine.
The Wildcats are just 1 game away now for the series and the championship against the Droughts. Will the Droughts be able to come back, or will they see a 2-0? We'll see you after this break.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. The Wildcat Esports take on the Droughts on Haven with our club championships on the line. Who will come out on top? Can the Droughts force a game 3 or Wildcats Esports win their first Rumble to win it all?
Well, we'll definitely have to find out. I'm your co-host, Jacob Gem Mountain Palmer, and Red Hot Kozniak hosting it all for you tonight. We're seeing all the culmination for the 2021 fall season, the grand finals for that. And overall, we've seen some very insane plays from both of these teams.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Enzio kind of just make plays that we've never seen before with all these classics and dashing in. And we even have some highlights from that last match. We can kind of highlight Enzio's plays, and I think we have some orthodox plays as well from the Drought.
I just want to see these replays from the insane duelist that Enzio is on this Jet. It's just so insane. Of course, doing all the things that we know that a Jet can do well with all of these ops, but really kind of the motto for Enzio is, you know, floats through the air with the op, but stings with the classic. It's just doing so many incredible plays, really comfortable with kind of the BM almost, and just being able to pick up other players. But also, as we're seeing here, Orthodox being the key player for the Droughts, really a sentinel that is really going through in spades for the Droughts, and has been able to, like we see right here, being able to stall out some of these rounds and take some eco away from the Wildcats.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Orthodox had a phenomenal performance in the game, really trying his all to get, you know, them back into the game, but it just kept falling short just a little bit there. I will say that, I mean, this team so far, Wildcats, is looking phenomenal together as a team play, and I think if Drought can't really match that team play, as much as they do individually, it's probably be pretty hard to win this, but I think we've seen Drought in the past do some phenomenal plays together. This highlight right here is also crazy, just shows, I mean, Enzio would be the type of guy that, like, wears a suit and tie and everything, and then, like, goes and plays a game of pickup basketball in it. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like when you have an operator and then you just go for a classic, right? Like,
they're basically if Chamber was a duelist.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, the guy just, you know, is like, oh, I have an operator, but I can use this classic just fine.
This was one of the most insane peaks that we saw here, though, from Orthodox around the corner, and it has really been a key thing in trying to put a dent in some of the Wildcats' momentum, is really being the one to really make these key plays in these save rounds and be able to get some great guns for the Drought. So we'll have to see how this match turns out. We're ready to get to the final one.
Yeah, and then we can also kind of go to the Doc's keys of the game. We know that, you know, there's some win cons. Let's go see what Doc says. In Valorant, you want to focus angles and flank, know your win condition. You got to count those cards and call those abilities, especially these ults lately, and make sure that you click those heads. This is presented by Esports Tower. Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And now we get back to the match, and it seems like now we're going back to Haven. We saw Haven just earlier today with the semifinals of Landslides versus Wildcats, and
Based on how the Wildcats did in the semifinals on Haven, I would not want to be the Droughts right now. Yeah, I just realized a terrifying thought. You know, NZO as a duelist main is, of course, going to be trying out Neon. I do not want to think of NZO using Neon's ultimate.
Yeah.
And that is the most terrifying thought that has entered my mind.
That is true. We'll kind of have to see that, I guess, when the next Esports Tower debuts. But overall, I think Wildcats for Haven is a pretty scary team to think about. I mean, we saw last time this is a 3-map site, which is, you know, unique to this, Valorant here on all the maps. But they play defense so interesting. They usually kind of lock down a site or two, but then they're pushing out constantly. They're really, like, basically counting your econ mostly. If you have a save, they're going to push you. And the Droughts are a very strong team, so hopefully they give it, they're going to give their best shot here, and hopefully they can kind of give us a great game here.
Oh, do I see a Chamber hover? Please do not be teasing us right now. We have not seen a lot of Chamber. It looks like that is indeed the case. They're going to be going on over to the Cypher. I would have liked to see some Chamber action, especially since Orthodox can really pop off as a Sentinel. But we're just going to have to wait for another day for Chamber to see his limelight. Now, the thing that doesn't surprise me and is kind of the... Look at this, though. Am I seeing this correctly? We're seeing 3 initiators on the side of the Wildcats, which really, I was about to say, the initiators for the Wildcats have really been kind of the firm foundation on which NZO builds his insane performance right now. And so them going back with the double initiator comp here with the Sky and Sova doesn't surprise me that much.
And I will say, we are going to see Orthodox's Cypher. Usually that is his most comfortable character and agent that we've seen. Orthodox has a lot of great lineups and stuff like that. Devin's been putting a lot of practice. We've seen him in the Astra doing a lot of great stuff here, and seems like Draw's kind of going with a lot of comfort here. We see the DRW on the Sky, and we have Maeve and Key both on this double duelist, and I think they do need it to get kind of something going on a map like Ascent.
Well, we're going to see how this Reyna works out. Last time the Reyna was used in the semifinals by the landslides against the Wildcats, it just really didn't seem to make a difference. There were really no key plays brought out by the Reyna, so we're going to have to see how it works out here. Maeve's still a very good Jet in their own right there, so we're going to probably see a lot of Jet duels. I wouldn't be surprised if we see NZO going for the off in round 3 yet again. But let's just see how the pistol round works out.
Yeah, and Drought's running the same kind of team comp they had last time. Last time they did have Dan kind of just hovering sewers and not letting a single soul go through there as long as this C-long takes, so it seems like they're kind of setting up how they did. But this time, Wildcat is attacking first, so we're going to see kind of how they attack on this map more so than last time.
Speaking of hovering, Wildcats playing with my sanity right now by hovering 2 shorties, but it looks like they're going to go with their comfort picks of the Ghosts. A lot of Ghosts being brought out, actually 5 here, but you also see the Frenzy be brought out by NZO, which has had a lot of great performance, so we'll see how that works out. Devin's going to start out by throwing out some smokes. Maeve is going to be meeting Cypher right here, though. But right now, just dashing right in. No fear at all. It's NZO. He's going to try to go right up against the Droughts. But the Wildcats looks like they're going to be paying for that right now. It's down to 3v3. Surge getting a nice pick onto Kev there.
Spike planted.
Can they?
Oh my gosh.
See, that's what always happens when the other team has the Frenzy.
Wow. NZO doesn't have a dial back. It's only forward. I mean, first thing is you dash forward, and he just sits there, and he's like, all right, wait for the utility. All right, go time. And then, it was a great pick there from Key, but the thing was, as soon as she got out of Wraith form again, she was like, went, can't go anywhere else, so...
And NZO following the sage advice of wisdom-packed Charlie Sheen here. I only have 1 speed, and that speed is go.
Yeah, that's very true here. And then we'll see again, once again, NZO usually just kind of stays with pistol and looking for that op. Oh, it seems like they actually did go with the Spectre last second, though. It seems like they want to just keep holding that W key. Granted, an op doesn't stop and do that, but...
Oh, there it goes. I'm surprised. Does NZO have well, I'm going to have to get to that point in a minute. I can't speak without NZO also getting a double there. Yeah. Maeve is going to try to go in for reinforcements. Orthodox is going to be going up to heaven trying to take it, but NZO has the sight, but is going to pay for it with Key. He's also going to get some nice healing up there, but Dan is going to mow Wave down with the superior weapon, the Spectre. Now it is 2 left for the Droughts. Unfortunately, this Cypher only has a classic and a prayer. Is it going to work out, though? They're going up to heaven, going to get blinded by the Hawk, and there goes Dan with the final pick. Wildcats going up 2-0.
I also want to say that Karma, the Wildcat Cypher, just walked through mid with a judge and just flanked them on through CT. So that's that's something that I wouldn't really think of when I think of attack Cypher, but that's what they did.
But we've been talking about how much Enzio is just holding down W here.
Yeah.
The question is, though, does he have the W charm on one of his guns? Because if he doesn't, he is completely, I don't know, not representing his identity or form of play style in the fullest form.
Yeah, they should unlock it where he doesn't have a 2 max. It's just all of them.
Yeah, every single one he has is just the W. That's perfect.
Okay, looks like they're going to go mid here, it seems like, for the Wildcats. Oh, we hear the dash.
And there goes. Hey, it's Devin getting the first pick onto NZO. That's the one pick you want to have. DRW bringing the Droughts back here. A nice pick on by Key as well. Orthodox picking up Surge. It's just one left. The Astra, who manages to get a double there. It's still within the realm of possibility as Drought has to rotate around. Now it's a hot pursuit over to A, maybe? No, it looks like actually Wildcats are still thinking about B, maybe. Or maybe even C, like you said, Red Hots.
I think they're going to go C and try to use kind of more of this dissipate wall here.
Oh, we're in ace territory right now. Jan looking to be the main player to get the bonus for the Wildcats. Maeve, hot pursuit right now. It is cat and mouse. Who is going to be the ultimate victor here? They get the plant down. Looking over C-Lawn.
They do have Dissipate up. I don't know if they're going to really use it here or if they're going to go with just this straight up utility. Yeah, seems like they're just going to kind of hold it here. Is 1v1 for the ace for Young B here.
Here we go. Is it going to happen? Doesn't have the advantage. In health, though. He gets it, though. There you go.
That was a cheeky play. Maeve jumps up and they just go in their own smoke and then they don't know where they are. Wow, what a play. I will say the bait to A, the slow play to B, the fight mid that they won was incredible for Orthodox. That's really what kind of set everything up. And then just going to C and holding out.
And really the ability of Jan to react so quickly because they got caught out mid-rotation there.
Yeah.
So the ability to just do an insane flick, get the headshot. Great job by Wildcats again, who look to be in the driver's seat.
Oh, they're just pushing out.
They're just rushing.
Nice.
They're just rushing with Sheriffs and Classics. They're taking a page out of Enzio's playbook against him. Will it work? Gets another pick onto Surge. We're going to have to see what happens. Now there's another great play by the Drought. It is 1v3, but we have been in this situation before. The Wildcats can fight back with ferocity. They're going to try to pinch Orthodox down from both sides here, get their first win of the map. Can they do it? It's going to be thrown out a bit of util, though, to try to discourage them. 2, in fact, so you're not going to be able to see anywhere through that.
Okay.
And it kind of backed up into a corner here.
Oh, there's one. Okay. Whew. And what's funny is this is the round they win. They bought 4 sheriffs and a judge and just went C long, and they won it. They won a full eco round. That's a huge round to win, I would say. I mean, now they can basically get some guns that they picked up from last round. But the thing is, Wildcat can still buy one more time. So this would be a crucial round. If Drought can win this round, then it's going to force Wildcats to at least get a save round, make it a little easier on them.
Well, for Enzio, that's not going to make much of a difference. He's a classic main anyway. So.
He is going to have some knives. We've seen him have some great knives right now. And I feel like at any point you hear a jet dash right now, you're kind of scared. Oh my gosh.
Wow, they are just moving right in. Look at Enzio. He cannot be stopped. Taking out Devin. Here goes DRW, going to throw out the flash, gets a nice flash, but Enzio pulls out the Phantom and is going to take out Key as well. It is all down to Orthodox right now. Just maybe tries to want to get 1 pick or 2. It is going to have to do some nice crosshair placement there. Is going to get him 1. Now he goes up against Enzio, manages to duck out in time, but going up against 2, not going to be able to do it, but a nice pick nonetheless.
I will say that was a fantastic dissipate from Young by there, just really cutting everything off there. And Enzio, Do they even, like, what do they do? Like, you seem like, you know, he's forcing a lot of these 1v1s too. He's so fast that they can't really rotate to get a 2v1 or anything like that. And, like, right here, he just pops it and just goes straight after him. He doesn't get the right click out of the way.
No hesitation.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so confident, too. And I think one thing I will say in Valorant, especially in these tactical shooters, you know, when you have that much confidence, you play so much better. And like, even if it's not working, if you can just keep doing that, like, the confidence alone
Look
is,
again!
Look at,
oh
my gosh.
It still works out!
Oh, Orthodox, nice pick there.
That is a nice flank right now. DRW is going to get some great information out of that dog, though, basically spotting all the members of the Wildcats, is going to be able to eliminate Karma there. The flash isn't going to pick up anybody, though. Going to try again. Stono blinding Enzio with a wallbang for DRW on their way to an ace if they can get another one. Orthodox is going to try to pinch them in from both sides. And also, Dan turning around, taking out Orthodox. He's going to try to hold this angle really close here, but what a nice dash there to take them out of the range of the judge. Gets flashed by the Hawk, and Enzio mows them down.
I will say how Enzio and the Wildcats play off these Dan flashes from Sky is really hard to do anything. They'll always have a flash going on in front of them, so as soon as you're getting flashed, usually, you know, people will peek kind of after that, but no, Enzio will be right there as soon as you're blinded, so you really can't do anything at that point.
Well, at this point, Drought has saved up all of their ultimates, and it looks like they have just enough to probably go for a full buy. Actually, no, they're going to turn around and do a half buy. Try to save up again. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, it is just credits as far as the eye can see. Vandals and Phantoms.
Oh, Maeve pulling out the knives here, although Wildcats is kind of Dan throwing those Seekers out to retaliate. Ooh, okay. I think Maeve's going to look for kind of a cheeky play here by getting jump up here.
Ooh, but it looks like one of those jellyfish caught them off guard, is going to be caught out by that. Spike already planted on A, which has just been the Wildcat strategy. Rush toward the point. Karma getting the first pick. Enzio onto Orthodox. 3v5. Going to be done to a 3v4 now. Skev with a great play with the Classic, which is kind of what you want to hope for when you're doing these full rounds. Just take a little bit of eco away from them here and there. Gonna pick up one of their weapons. Looks like picks up a Vandal. Yun, though, is gonna Kev down. Dan getting a double. And it's gonna go to 6-1 for the Wildcats. just throwing two Valorant champion skins back and forth.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say the Wildcat Esports had no easy path getting here either. They've played strong teams all the way through, and it seems like they are just going to keep on tearing through it no matter what team it is. And seems like Key is to go with the op here this time. It seems like maybe Maeve decided that Key should have it, or maybe Key was like, hey, I'm kind of feeling good on the op right now, or something like that. But we're going to see a Key with an op here. Hopefully they can kind of make some use out of it. They need something going.
Yeah, it's a lot more clunkier, though, in the hands of Arena than the Jet, who can just dash out. So you're going to have great aim. Look at Enzio there. Just hopping on top of the boxes, again, just rushing onto the point, taking shots toward the Drought there, who still has a great advantage here in Ultimate's going to throw out that Hawk, get a few blinds. I got to say, though, it has been the Astra with these smokes that has been such a pain to anyone who goes up against the Wildcats.
They just get utility everywhere. There's a smoke, there's a dog in the smoke, there's a flash coming out of the smoke. Karma does get a kill onto Maeve once again.
Yeah, how can you use this off? Oh, they're going to go right through and get a double there. It is still 2v2. Devin, look at that, a double with the Spectre. It is 1v1 right now. Gonna try to get one. With the shot dart! Surge, are you kidding me?
The funniest thing about that, by the way, is it was the exact moment Orthodox ran through to be able to hit by that, because Astrovault was still active, and so it hit the wall and got Orthodox.
I tell you, Surge is just that good in predicting where the darts are gonna go.
I would say his intuition. I will say also, like, being able to on a whim throw these accurate shock darts is so hard to do. Like, basically having it where it's gonna go wherever you want it to, which is happening so far, is just phenomenal.
I would say look out for Orthodox, though, on this Guardian.
Yep.
Really good on that weapon in the half-ice and great at taking those strong weapons away from the other team. They're not going to see an NZO, though, who mows down Key. It is made a 4v4 by Maeve, though. They go right up towards the plant, though. It's going to get it another triple from NZO.
Oh, my gosh.
The ace!
Okay.
Okay, that just happened.
I will say, it seems like Drought doesn't really have an answer for the C. The one thing that I kind of would want to see from the Drought here is kind of what the Wildcat approach was for the defense, where they play like that Cypher on C long, and they kind of have the Astra where it's playing Garage-ish, because it's really hard to go anywhere that. But it seems like maybe they just think that sending the Reyna there is going to stop them, but so far... No, yeah, Maeve said, I'm taking back the op.
Yeah,
I'm going to start. I can hold it this time.
The problem is, though, it's a lot harder to use the op when the utility from this...
Oh, my gosh.
Look at that! It's just, what can you do? I don't know. Can you... Okay, do something with the op right now. Try to shoot through the smoke. I don't know what you can do. The Wildcats are just so unstoppable, throwing down all their smokes at once. You can't see anything through it. Maeve manages to get one pick there. It's going to run for their life, trying to save this op. Gonna get another shot, though. That is a great play, though. Can they save against it? They're just trying to keep the credits at this point. But all three members are just running after Maeve here. Gonna get... Oh, I thought maybe gonna get another crucial miss, though. Oh... That's a lot to ask, though, and I got to say Maeve did such a good job considering what they were up against.
Drought, like, tries to use the utility, but I think, like, Wildcats just go through it. They really don't care. Like, I don't know. It's like, as Drought, it's so overwhelming, and, like, you know, it's probably frustrating, too, because it's like, how do we stop them? Like, we're using
it's
utility,
a game of, like, you throw out one utility, they throw three back at you.
Then you're flashed by Sky, you're concussed by Astra, there's a smoke on you from the NZO who's shooting through it. Okay, we have knives coming from Maeve, and it seems like they are going A. NZO is... Hey. Seems like Maeve knew where they were going that time.
It had to come back to bite NZO sometime. But look at Surge, though, even with a shock dart, of course, in pure Surge fashion there. Now it is 4-4.
Oh, through the wall. Do you see that?
It's insane right now. It is back to 3v3, trying to take down Sky, unable to do so. Surge with a great pick onto Maeve, though. Drought is trying to fight back, and we did see the Neuro Theft be brought out by Wildcat Esports, though, so they know exactly where Drought is, so to speak, from Cypher. So now they're going to try. They managed to get the flash, though. And they don't have time, though.
Oh, my gosh. Great shot from Dan.
They have to move in, managed to just get one, but 2 against 1. Wildcats win, driving it to 10-1.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah. That was pretty funny, though, for Maeve. That, you know, she did know exactly what NZO was going to do that round.
It had to finally come back to bite NZO, and so just got a whole bunch of knives. I think that was a right click, too.
It was, yeah.
It just, maybe just a frustration.
Yeah,
right
like,
click,
I got you this time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care if I don't have this ult anymore. If it means taking out you, it's worth it to me.
Yep. And it seems like Wildcats are just kind of looking for this mid play, it seems.
Uh-oh, you do not want to look down C long there. There goes Wildcats using their wall.
Wow, I've never seen a wall like this for B. This is a really good wall.
Oh, he doesn't know they're planting there. Oh my goodness, they were able to plant right in front of the crosshair of that op, but you just can't use the op. NZO again, though, falling. That's a key pick, though, mowed down by that Odin. This is the play that the Droughts were looking for. They are out for revenge. They're going to throw out the Hawk out in pursuit of Surge. He is not going to get the shock dart elimination that he was looking for. That is what the Droughts so desperately needed there. Unfortunately, it's halftime, and so that one little boost, it's going to get completely reset.
I also want to say the Odin with the Reyna Empress. She decided that, hey, you know what? This is the round I buy an Odin with the Empress, which honestly is pretty fair. And they were just gunning through. And, you know, One thing I will say is Drought felt pretty aggressive there, and it felt like it kind of worked out for them of all kind of working at the same time. We're going to see the Drought attack now, and we didn't know from previous rounds, at least the match versus landslides, Wildcat Esports is quite aggressive on this map.
Again, look though at the assists from both of Dan and Surge. They have been so good in helping Enzio and Yun to an extent to just be able to shine. This is a team working fully together, as it should be. Is just going to try to charge right in, try to beat Enzio at his own game. They are able to take him out though, so it is a 4v4. They are just going right through here to try to get the plant they're looking for. They're not going to plant on B though. They're going to try to get a sneaky flank onto A right now. Throw up some utility, plant behind the crate here under Heaven. This is an interesting play. We'll see if it works
the
out
Shocker
for them.
lineup. Oh, wow.
Going to be able to take out Karma. Drought is out for revenge, but some great classic play by Yun is going to get a wallbang. And Dan and Surge also picking up one. And just as quickly as it was planted, it's turned around by the Wildcats, bringing them within 2 of victory.
That's still a great first round, I'd say. I mean, it's 11-2 now, but they got 3 of them. I will say Surge was probably about a second and a half off of just getting a double shock dart kill on that plant. He had a lineup ready to go. Oh, Enzio is going to go with the Marshall this time. It looks like they're going to kind of maybe flex on a little Marshall action and see how it goes. Now, the question is does Drought feel comfortable forcing right here? Because they did get a decent amount of eco, but or do they just kind of basically let him go 12-2 or just try to win this eco to kind of go through it with things? Seems like they're already going to go with the full save, so hopefully they get a couple down here or even maybe get a crazy win round for the next round here.
Yeah, they're playing for match points here. We'll see how it works out for them. They're gonna take a page out of the Wildcats and just charge with abandon towards B here. They don't see that be careful of that tripwire though, and that line there. They managed to look away at just the right moment. Gonna mow down that owl drone. Surge is holding down Garage pretty well here. It looks like a concuss also from the dog is going to catch Maeve. Some great play, though, in defense by Orthodox. Pushing the Droughts. Well, I was going to say to an advantage, but then Dan decided to put his Spectre into the mix, and that worked out well for the Wildcats. Now they're up 1 yet again. Drought still has well over 1 minute, and I don't exactly know what happened there. Unfortunate for the Drought. They're going to blind themselves, but now move in again. That's a great play by Maeve here.
They have a 3-on-2 here. This is a good spot for them, although Maeve is quite low.
Oh, no. That Marshall, we were wondering what it was going to do. And Enzio is fighting back. Actually going to do a very quick rotate around towards A again.
Oh, I like this play. If they can kind of get a cheese from Maeve, they can get something going here.
Look at Enzio, though. So low on health.
Nice, that's huge.
A great play by Maeve. I think they're in good. Oh, if they can just get Wildcats there. There it goes. Kind of giving Enzio a taste of their own medicine, taking them out with the classic. And hanging in to fight another day.
And that's a great round from Droughts. I mean, they got a full save and they made it work. It seems like these save rounds from Drought have actually been working pretty well. It seems like,
that seems like it's one of their biggest strengths, is doing so well on these eco rounds.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at this point, they are going to be full buy. This is a big round from them. Obviously, we see Wildcat is going to have to full save here. This should be the best kind of odds they have. Let's see what the Drought keeps doing to kind of drive him back.
Although still not quite a full buy, they're actually still being a little bit thrifty by picking up some Spectres. But it is still an advantage against... Oh, wow. They are just going to try to wallbang instantly. Look at Enzio trying to get the heroic play. He gets mowed down by that Vandal. There we go. Key getting a triple there. Only 1 left for the Wildcats off on B. Going to throw out that I think... Oh, they're looking down toward Garage there. And Drought is just going to be more than happy to get the information they need to push on to B here. Orthodox waiting back in the wings, trying to get some sort of flank against Dawn. They did see them there, though, so now they know where Dawn is. Trying to wallbang through the doors. Almost gets caught out in util, too. Goes around the doors and nails it down. Key getting a quadruple, and the Droughts staging quite a comeback. On attack, no less.
I will say I do like Wildcats kind of I guess, like, you know, eco strat. They just all run down mid, Enzio doing what they usually do, but I kind of like the rush to try to, you know, get picks here and there, try to catch them off guard maybe. But, you know, fortunately enough for Drought, they had all of them there so they could, you know, at least defend against it. And I think we're going to have some ults available. We have the Empress still available. We also have the Cypher ult ready to go. Let's see if we can kind of get some uses out. Everyone's C-Long.
Gonna have to watch out for Enzio here, holding down Garage with that op. They're just gonna go right in there and try to take out Cypher right away. Their location gets revealed, though they throw out the smokes here. They're gonna find Cypher. No, Cypher gets the headshot against them, followed by Surge. And a nice pick from Enzio too on that op. It goes right back in the favor of the Wildcats. This Cypher, though, might be able to get a sneaky rotation if they can pick out Dan. That is the first step. Unfortunately, I don't know if they know the tripwire's there, and they don't know that Dan's there too. Just was waiting for them, and now Wildcats are at match point.
Yeah, they did go to Wildcats' kind of strong side there with, you know, their Cypher and their Astra also there. We do see, you know, Enzio back with the Operator, making it quite tough on the side of Droughts. But it seems like they have some money, so hopefully they can kind of win out here. But at this point, gotta have some pressure on you that, you know, next round you lose, it's over.
Seems like, though, that Drought have just enough that they saved up that they get the guns that they want.
And I say worst case for Reyna can always just kind of go with that light armor buy due to her, you know, overheal.
No party check, guys, please. Just a second.
In terms of ults, though, both these teams have kind of the offensive ultimate that they can rip immediately.
Oh, I think it's
The Knights
timeout
and the
was
Empress.
called?
Yeah, might be a timeout. Unfortunate thing for Drought though, is they've got to get that crucial first pick if they want to get any sort of mileage out of that neural theft. Which for Wildcats, though, they've got two ultimates that they can just use right away. They've got the knives, and they've got the Seekers, which just... it's like it almost doesn't matter what round you use it. You just almost always kind of feel good with the Seekers because it's always giving you info.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, especially with, you know, Dan here, he'll Seekers, and then he'll flash you as the Seekers are getting close, while Enzio's pushing against you with Dash, so it's like... Do I shoot the Seekers? Do I shoot the Bird? Do I can't see Enzio, but I think anything, you know, you hear the knives from Enzio, then you hear the dash, and that's start off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Great pick, though.
No, they managed to get rid of Enzio too, and a great play by Devin is going to push them back up toward the advantage, and they crucially get the neural theft. That was kind of one of the bigger challenges that they had. Going to try to take out that owl drone. It misses the shot, though, so that owl drone is going to get such a nice view of the point. They know exactly every spot where the Drought is, and of course he's going to use that to do some great shock darts. And they get a double against Maeve and DR. They need to hold this point if they want to keep it going. Devin, it's all up to you. Gets a great spray transfer with the Vandal. It is now 1-1. Can they get it against the Astra? Down to half health with the Wildcats is going to try to bait them out maybe with defuse. And going in clutch. Devin with a quadruple. The Drought is still alive.
Yeah, that was looking real bad, but it turns out they kind of had a lot of trades there, and Devin had a great clutch to kind of finish it off with. It was 3v1, great clutch by Devin here.
Yeah, that is that is insane with the Wallbane, letting kind of the spray of the Vandal work out to the benefit there, and then just Yun didn't see him at all. What a great play. And now the Drought has more ultimates that they can use. They're going to have the Seekers available to them, as well as some knives that they're going to use right away.
So Maeve with the knives. The Seekers coming out here from Drought here. Oh, and a Dissipate coming out.
They're going to use everything. They want to try to keep this game going by any means necessary. Wildcats still holding on to their ultimates. Going to throw out the Hawk there. Hunter's Fury right onto C, though. Doesn't look like it picks up anybody, though. Just causes some scattering.
Yeah, Dog can't do anything there.
Maeve's planted themselves up on top of the crate. What a great shot onto Karma there. Gets the early advantage here. How are they going to push through? They have maybe some pre-fire. Oh, look at that, though. They tried to push through Garage, but were outflanked by Orthodox. What a great play. Surge is going to try to take something away from them here or there. Has some great crosshair placement, but is going to get pinched in from both sides. DRW picks it up, and the Drought's still hanging in there.
Yeah.
This is a game.
I mean, 12-6, and they are not letting up in the slides. It seems like Droughts, that was a fantastic attack. I mean, you had the Dissipate coming through, you had Seekers going through. They took sight altogether. They had a great job by Orthodox kind of playing that back to make sure that no really flanks come in from the side of Wildcats, and got a flank himself. With I think he got a 2K there, so that makes it a huge difference that the rounds can make.
I think we could very well be looking at a 7-12 here, considering the fact that they have forced Wildcats to save here. So they're going to have the advantage in weapons, too.
That is true. Let's see what the kind of plan of attack here is by Drought. They're kind of looking mid here. They know they have the gun advantage, so.
And I think one thing, it seems that they've been much better anticipating kind of the initial rush from the Wildcats. Like, we haven't seen the plays where NZO or just any other members of the Wildcats get those picks by rushing into the Drought. So it seems like they are adapting very well to the Wildcats' sense of play and are making quite a rally. Looks like they managed to get to point. Gonna smoke off Heaven. Oh, that's some dangerous situation. Take down to 12, but still manages to place the spike down and just go right over the Wildcats. All that's left is the Astra. And she has to rotate way over through spawn.
It seems like just Drought did a fantastic job of holding angles, too. It seems like every time that Wildcats right now recently have been trying to go for one kill, they get hit from a different angle.
Wow.
By holding that spawn. Does get one. Oh, does Orthodox push out?
Yeah,
He wants to.
There isn't enough time, though. He doesn't have enough time. Oh,
nice.
What a dance ring around the rosy. TG gets, Orthodox gets the pick, though. Now here's the true test, though. Now Wildcats have saved up enough. They can buy the weapons they want.
And I will say it's 7-12 now. I mean, at one point, I think it was, they started this half with, what, 2-11? Or, yeah, 2-11, or no, 1-11.
I think it was 1-11.
Yeah, it was 1-11, and now they're 7-12. So Drought's really bringing it back. I mean, all it does take is one round from Wildcats, so maybe it's just kind of one of those things where you hear in comms, all right, guys, let's relax, let's play our game, and let's finish it out. But
11-1 curse.
Yep. That's true.
We're going to have to see how they do. If they are able to take the op play away from NZO, that is going to be such a great pick. Looks like they're just going to try to take a little bit of that armor off. They do not want... I think they realize that it's going to be a full pick, so they're trying to look out for any potential op plays there. They've managed to put themselves with a great sightline down A here. They're going to go through A long. That is not what they wanted, though. Dan gets a great double there. Now Drought is going to have the work cut out for them. Ooh, it's going to be tough, really tough. Orthodox, though, fighting back. It's 2v4. Is he going to be able to do it? Is just going to be waiting for the rotations here. They don't realize, though. Look out there. A nice flank from Karma. He's still waiting for the rotation. Turns around now, tries to take out Karma, but is going to go 2-1. A great rally from the Drought. Ultimately, the Wildcats win, though.
Yeah, and Wildcats had a dominating performance until like the second half, where Droughts really kind of were giving them a run for their money. I mean, they really showed that, hey, we can compete, and it was like a 7-13, I think, end score. And I think after starting 1-11, that just shows that Drought had some determination to at least, give it their all before they ended up losing overall. And congrats to Wildcats, I'd say, overall.
Definitely Droughts, though, a team to watch out for in the 2022 spring season. Remember, you were just seeing the finals for the fall 2021 season, so a lot to look forward to for this next semester.
Want to be seen by expert college recruits? Talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get inside access to industry insights with our featured rumbles. Recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. And at this point, Jem, I gotta say, I mean, I have my player of the game in mind. Well, I'm just going to say, I think it's Enzio. I don't know anyone like that, but what do you think?
Okay, yeah, the duelist who gets 29, okay, in their KDA. Yes, that is a key contender. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to Enzio. Yeah. I'll have two other picks, though. On the Droughts, I do have to give a great shout-out to Orthodox, especially on those off rounds. On the Guardian, he made some great plays that kept the Droughts alive and some great rallies, to make it 7-12. I also, you might give a shout shout out to kind of the initiators on the side of the Wildcats. You know, Surge was there, you know, looking at their assists. You know, they were insane with their assists, helping Enzio make that great plays. It's a team game, everyone working together. So recognizing some of those great plays. Of course, you could also get some of those great shock dart plays for the player of the game. But we'll have to see who production decides to give it to.
Yeah, I will say, like, you know, Jem has a great point, and you know that I see the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a great team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping players achieve financial success. Enzio is the ICCU player of the game, and honestly, it's deserved. And once again, though, Jem made a good point. As much as they, you know, popped off and stuff, they had a great team. I mean, everyone of that team for Wildcats made it so it was possible for Enzio to make these plays. I mean, Surge had insane shock darts and recons. We had, you know, Dan having insane stuns everywhere to make it so Enzio can dash in and get classic kills. So, I mean, I overall, just crazy.
That's got to be the main thing that really set Enzio apart. Wasn't just the fact that he was making all the great plays that you would expect off of a Jet, but was even getting some sort of cheeky BM in there by getting these classic eliminations that we didn't see going out anyway. Like you pointed out, Red Hots, Enzio confident enough to dash into their own smoke and make it work out.
And I will say congratulations to Wildcat Esports on winning the Fall Club Championship in their first Rumble appearance. They took down a lot of great teams on their run. The Wildcats looked incredibly dominant throughout the event and had big performances versus some of our top teams. The Droughts had a great week as well and have been the most consistent team through the entire Fall Rumble. They should be very proud of themselves, and I think they did a great job today. The club championships were a great way to end the season, and we look forward to seeing some intense competition during the winter season. If you want to find out how to compete in the Esports Tower Rumble events, make sure you visit esportstower.com/Valorant. Congratulations to all this week's teams, and we will see you next week with some more Valorant action as the winter starts. We'll close out with the top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 degrees jobs offering a 20K bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. And I want to say thank you very much with Jem and everyone coming out today, and have a great evening. This round here. It seems that they're gonna have to force this kind of C long.
Ooh, unfortunately. Oh, they're gonna have to deal. They pick up 2. Whoa, look at that there. They might actually have a chance. They're able to pick up delete. They actually turned it around.
Wow, that's a fantastic job by Landslides. I mean, they kind of had...
It seems like their one member going to do a little bit of spray for confidence before they move in towards A there. Going to be able to pick up 2, though. And that's a nice mind hack by the Cypher. Unfortunately, Surge there, the hero for the Wildcats. Ace, press that button. That is our first Esports Tower ace.
Phenomenal utility there from Wildcat Esports allowed the rest of the 2 to kind of rotate over. Now it's really hard for Drow to kind of take sight here.
Ooh, nice play there. Instantly, it goes right back toward the Drought. They're going to have enough time with the picking up the last one. That is the win that the Drought needed to end their drought of wins. I go through the door, sneak through, can see them right around the corner. A double there, and is going to make a triple overall with that Guardian. Great job from Orthodox. They're going to be able to plant here and push the smoke down and steal some weapons away from the Wildcats. On top of that, of course, the ultimate prize is going to be Enzio. They get a double against Maeve and DR. They need to hold this point if they want to keep it going. Devin, it's all up to you. Gets a great spray transfer with the Vandal. It is now 1-1. Can they get it against the Astra? Down to half health with the Wildcats is going to try to bait them out maybe with defuse and going in clutch. Devin with a quadruple.